Good Tuesday morning. There's my little baby that's limping. I don't know what happened. I was gone yesterday, but apparently dogs got into it. I think she got injured. Just doesn't end. You have animals, but hey, good morning. Tuesday morning, Ice Age TV. Yeah, tell you. If you have animals, yeah, did she break her foot? Yeah, did she injure her foot or leg? I have no idea. All right, well, that may be the next project today. I don't know yet. I'll go to the animal doctor. Yeah, that'll be a $500 bill, right? Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, hey, welcome to Ice Age TV. And wow, what's the conversations today? Is it the calm before the storm? Being up north here, not so much, but down south, wow. Down south, yeah. Guess what car the wife's driving? She's driving my Ranger. She just loves that Ford Ranger Tremor truck. She'd take that Maverick, but I'm keeping that. So, yeah, so what's going on here this Tuesday morning? I want to say the calm before the storm, and yeah, that ain't good, is it? She's definitely got a rear right leg issue. See, she gets into it. She's a feisty thing. She'll fight these big dogs. She freaking, I'll never forget when she's just a little puppy. That's a girl dog. She went up to my boxer dog. My boxer dog was bad. I mean, that dog was bad. I should never got that dog. He was a problem. She went up to him and took a bone out of his mouth. And he looked at her like, huh? Yeah, I'm not lying. That little girl there, she's a feisty one. Yeah, so what are we talking about today? I mean, good Lord. The daily, YouTuber blogger guy. Is that what I am? On the, when isn't there news, right? But what news do you want to hear about? I mean, come on. Anymore, when is there any good news? And part of me is like, if you're not the richest person in the world, you're probably hearing some good news, maybe. Just depends on your circumstances. But good Lord. Got the team going up. Feel so much better about my shop. Just nice and clean, and just a good feel when you walk into your environment. It's clean. See here? Yeah, she's challenged. See that right? Is it the foot or is it the leg? Yeah, so I tell you what. Yeah, so the hurricane. Yeah, my mother, who's stubborn as all get out. You have no idea. So my daughter's telling me that my dad, mom, and brother are going to ride it out, which that isn't good. My parents are in no physical capability to ride out a surge of water to swim in. Yeah, I mean, especially my mother. So I don't know, and here's the challenge. If anybody's found this Ian hurricane, it's supposed to be a direct hit in Tampa. Right where I was all summer. If you're following my videos on my YouTube channel, you'll see me down there in the boating and playing down there with popcorn. And it's a great place for us to hang out when we can be down there. But at the same time, I have talked in great length when I've been driving down to Florida about how that area has exploded. It's exploded with houses being built everywhere. And I've talked about, wow, there was ever a major hurricane come through that area. Hasn't happened for 100 years. It was 1921's the last time a hurricane did devastation to Tampa. It has skated so many hurricanes. My family moved down there in 1990, and I'm not lying. There have been numerous times where it's this exact same scenario. That's the challenge, and that's what's not comforting for me, being the son and brother. My two sisters, they left. They went south down to Fort Myers. I'm not so sure that's the greatest idea, because we've seen how these storms can turn in earlier or turn in later. Going up that west coast, it's happened many times. So that's debatable, but at least we're not in a direct path. It's a surge, as everybody knows. It's if the wall of water comes into that area where you saw me, can serve, that could be 6 foot of water, meaning you would be underwater. You would drown. They're saying maybe up to 10 feet of water. My sister, who has a house right there on the bay. If you watch some of my videos, me hanging out at the park down there, she's literally, her house is not right on the bay. It's right across the street. So there's a house in front of her that's on the bay, and then she's right across the street from it. So that house for sure will be underwater if this surge happens. My parents' house, I don't know. I would say it would probably be 6 foot to maybe 8 if it's a 10 foot, but I don't know. So the whole point is, my parents and family lived down there for the past 30 years, and what happens is we've had numerous times this same scenario, and at the last second, 2017, I bought a brand new boat, and I hauled it down there to Florida, and it was like Murphy's Law. That was April 2017. It was like August, I believe it was August, late August, that the hurricane was going to be a direct hit where my boat is. To the point, Geico Insurance wanted to pay me $3,500 to tow the boat out of there, to get it out of there, because they didn't want to have to pay for a boat, because they knew it would be devastating. And no lie, that happened in 2017, and sure enough, that storm at the last second, skirted that whole area. It made like an abrupt right-hand turn below Tampa, and it went up through the center part of Florida and actually did a ton of damage to the center part of Florida. So you just don't know. So the reason I'm talking about this is I think my father and brother are convinced that storm isn't going to do what everybody's saying, which I don't disagree that we don't know for sure. It's all speculation, but at the same time, if it does hit, I don't know. It's right now, as you know, if you're watching the TV, people are just lined up for miles and miles and miles to get out of that state. And then the other thing is, what people don't know is once you get out of that state, if it is devastating, you're not going back anytime soon, because the cleanup, just the amount of cleanup, just picture the roads and the infrastructure of just power lines being down, trees being down, debris being down. I mean, it can take weeks and weeks to get those roads just cleaned up to be safe for people to come back. But then there's no power. And then the sewer system, it's infinite of all the variables of what start to play out once a hurricane comes in and just does major obliteration to the infrastructure of towns. So I don't know. Hopes and prayers. Pray for a miracle. You can only hope this thing skirts this thing. It doesn't hit it as, it just doesn't hit it as bad. That's all I can hope. I have no idea. So, anyways, yeah, instead of talking about being the weatherman all morning, I can do that. But, so what's today's conversation? Today's conversation to me is like, we've got good news. But at the same time, I understand it isn't good news. But the good news is, in my eyes, lumber prices finally are back to reality. I've been preaching this. You just have no idea behind the scenes. I've been preaching for over a year. Last year, I was preaching how this economy is just going to fall flat in its face. And it needs to. And people are like, oh my God, what do you mean? It's out of control. It's ridiculous. How the average home price now is like $470,000. At 2% interest, yeah, I get it. 9% interest, I don't get it. And I blame, for me, I blame a lot. People, want to blame this administration. I blame all administrations. I even blame the previous administration. What I mean by that, the interest rates, the Fed and the Fed went too low. I've said this many times. If the Fed's going to leave the interest rate at low forever, then okay. For the most part, it kind of works to a degree. But once the interest rates start to change, it doesn't work anymore. And sadly, the greed behind greed. It's greed. Oh my God. You have no idea. I'm around. I travel. I see things. And for these people, just give you an example, like down in Tennessee. There's people down there that have these homes built in the 1970s that are shacks that have property, and all of a sudden they want $1 million for a place. I'm not talking about the 100, 300 acre spread that you can go develop into houses. I'm talking about the shack of the 70s that has maybe a 10 or 20 acre parcel, and they want $1 million for a freaking thing. It's beyond comprehension, because the media has ratcheted up everybody. Oh, people can't find a house. People can't rent. Another thing, rent prices are finally starting to see reality. Rent prices are coming down. Is anybody here? It's beyond believable. You know what it is? It's greed beyond greed. Why, if you have free money, why do you pay more for things? I mean, does anybody connect the dots here? If you have free money, the government's giving you free money, but you're going to now raise the price of everything? That's called greed beyond greed. So there ain't no bleeding heart for me. Anybody here goes broke. I'm sorry. It sounds harsh, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The price for everything's through the roof, and it's not acceptable. So yeah, the reset needs to happen. For all those people in the stock market, oh well, I'm sorry. We had an 8,000 case stock market in 2009-10. It goes close to 40,000. 40,000 in basically in like 10 years. I mean, we're talking stock market's been around how long, everybody? How long? It has a 32,000 spike. Oh my God, it's beyond believable. So for me, yeah, it comes across harsh, comes across mean. I'm sorry. People have been making a bloody fortune off of just what? So for me, the stock market needs to be 20K. Gas prices need to be in the $2 range again, $3 maybe, okay. The EV people, I can let that happen. I mean, oh my gosh, here's Polestar electric car company, electric car company where the green addiction, the green agenda is people that are addicted to green. I mean, they're addicted. These are junkies. Yes, you're junkies if you're the greenie person because you can't get out of your head that you're not, that you have to save the world. These green people are so fixated on that they're going to fix the world. And they're going to tell you how you're going to act and operate to fix the world. So Polestar took a freaking poll of 18,000 people, supposedly from Europe, Asia, America, South America. And what they have found out is that 37% of people think by 2030, I love how they put a time frame on it. By 2030, everybody's got to have an electric car and they have to get rid of gas cars. 37% of the people agree with Polestar. Wow, what's the agenda? The Polestar needs to sell electric cars, right? Oh my God. And fossil fuels, I'm telling you, the barrel of oil, in my eyes, it sounds crazy. It may be $40 to $50 barrel of oil. It's definitely going to the 60s. We're already now in the 70s. It ain't over. So here's the thing. For Polestar, they see the writing on the wall. Oh my God, fossil fuels are getting too cheap again. People have no motivation to buy my car. We spent billions of dollars to create Polestar, and now people aren't going to buy them because they can buy cheap gasoline again. No. This cannot happen. It's even written in an article, Polestar is going after governing bodies and manufacturers to force them to enforce 2030 as being the deadline of no more ICE engines. Are you hearing this? So basically, we're not even 6 years away. So what people forget is R&D. For a manufacturer, for you to be ready by 2030, you better have everything in order by 2039. So you're not even 7 years away. You're less than 7 years away for forcing all the manufacturers to get rid of ICE vehicles. I mean, this is what you're talking about. An addict, a junkie. The Polestar guy's a junkie. He's totally convinced his electric car is going to save the world. Beyond believable. Where are these people? Are they hiding out, sucking their thumb? I mean, oh my God. It's just to me as an individual, to hear these conversations more than ever of the green agenda people forcing their hand, shoving it down the throats of so many companies and manufacturers and us as citizens that you have to abide by my rules or you're going to pay dearly. This is how they're operating. Beyond believable. There needs to be a wake-up call in this country and world that these greenies are a bunch of freaking addicts. They're junkie addicts. They think they know the end result. They don't. It's really bad. So you hear me riled up this morning? It's because it's beyond believable that what we're witnessing today more than ever, that you have this movement of people that are hell-bent on they know how the world ends. They have no clue how the world ends. They think mankind's been around here for thousands of years. The Mother Nature has been here for billions of years. You frickin', greenie addicts, junkies, how long you been on Mother Nature? How long you been here on the physical planet? I mean, oh my God, what, maybe 40 years, maybe 30, maybe 20? Oh, wow, you have the answers. You know the answers, really. So really sad. I've preached it many times. Force is the worst thing you can do to people. It never works out. And the correct way to let this green agenda play out, the correct way is you let mankind and the people that are involved in this world we live in resolve issues. Meaning we all get together and we kind of can agree. The majority agrees that what we feel like it makes sense, not the minority. The minority is pushing this stuff more than ever. More than ever in our lifetime, we are witnessing the minority is changing our world. From how you look, what sex gender you are, from the laws. It's the minorities. The minorities, the cities in this country that have the highest crime. It's insane of what the DAs are not doing to incriminate people. It's really sad where we are more than ever. The minority, just a very small percentage of people are just totally not fit to be in society, are ruining it for most. It's bad. But when is anybody going to stand up and start shutting this down? I don't know. It's so funny. A lot of my friends, it's not funny, but a lot of my friends have said, you should run for president. Yeah, right. I mean, I don't think I'm that talented. But even at that, it's the dirt. It's the dirt. For you to become a politician, you got to play the game. It's a game. You got to find the people that want to give you money, that you're going to tell them you're going to do something for them. So which side do you cave to? Which side do you cave to? You're going to be Democrat, Republican, Independent? What are you going to cave to? There's so many Democrats that were borderline Republicans that went to Democratic side because they couldn't find something to run on. I'm sure some Democrats that are Republicans that couldn't find the ticket to run on without going that way because they sold themselves out. So I'm not here to say all politicians are bad people. That's not the message. The message is that it's an agenda to become a political person, and you have to abide by the rules that you're participate in to help get things accomplished on, good things and unfortunately bad things. So does that mean? Not really. I've never been a person who would be a spotlight, even though here I'm doing a YouTube channel. But all over the place this morning. But I think there's some good news out there. And what's the good news? Good news is lumber's going down because building's really slowing down. So that equates to lower prices for you to build something, lower prices for you to buy a house eventually, lower prices on rent eventually. And then you go over to the car market. Used car markets are falling. Well, that's great news because the car dealers are coming back. Meaning you're not going to pay premium just to be so lucky to get a car. That's not too far off. It's already happening. So that's great news, I think. What's other good news here? Well, good news is if you're an investor and you don't have all your money, if you'd have cashed out last year, you got a whole ton of money to probably buy up some good stocks by the end of this year going into next year. I don't think, probably next year, I think would be a little more safer time when the dust settles, when things kind of everybody starts to understand the reality of things. So to me, that's good news. If you had $1 million in the market and you cashed out last year, and I know you got tax things and everything else, but if you moved your money around right, bonds is now apparently the big thing now because you can get 4 3/4% back in the bonds, which we haven't seen that in years. So a lot of speculators are saying that's where a lot of people are taking their money and taking it out of stocks and blah, blah, blah. I'm not a stock trader, not a stock investor. I don't know a lot about the stock market. I just talk on the tip of my tongue. So anybody there watching me can be like, oh, no, you're not right on that. You need to correct yourself. And that's fine. I'll take that. And it's so funny that it's just the same. It's so funny. So here, when the pandemic came in, I told the wife, let's put a deck in the back of the house. And she's like, nah. I'm like, yeah. Because my business turned off. My business went to half. There was nothing to do. I'm not lying. So initially when the pandemic, started, the business, the lights turned off. Yeah. And so I just, I was like, what do I do now? I can't sit around. So now I'm like, I'm going to put a deck in the back of my house. My wife's like, nah, let's not do that. I'm like, yeah, we're going to do it, honey. No, it's not a good time to do it. You're telling me the business is going broke and I don't care. I'm doing it. And oh my God, I am so glad I did that. Why? I built a massive deck in the back of my house by myself with the help of another guy. And oh my God, I think I put a Trex deck system on that thing. And I think I spent 11 or 12 grand. There's no doubt now. There's no doubt in my mind. If I would have waited out a year or so, oh my God, that deck would have been $24,000. Maybe even $30,000. Probably couldn't even get the materials. Yeah. So my, does the spouse want to say, that was a great idea. And what'd you just go buy? Right, I get it. So both ways, right? So yeah, interesting times here. As anybody's sitting here watching the news, and for me, it's all about the hurricane. It's nothing to make light of. I don't know. I'm going to call my father here in a little bit, get the business going, and get the day going, and see how that kind of plays out. And I don't know. My mother and father was telling my dad yesterday. I think he should drive. He should have just gotten in the car and driven south. I think he should have gone to the middle of the state, more over towards near like Miami. I mean, yeah, they're still going to have. It's not going to be as brutal. I don't know. I mean, for me, yeah. And right now, I already know if they leave now, it's going to be a long drive to get out of there. But that's the danger. You just keep on driving north, and keep on driving north as a storm follows you. That's a whole other scenario. So I don't know. Very debatable. And, once again, just here kind of riled up in this EV green agenda. I have EV vehicles. And sincerely, yeah, they're neat. But at the end of the day, do you think I'm buying into this green agenda? And for the end of the day, what do I drive? I don't even drive the EV vehicles. My wife's not even driving EV vehicles. Yeah. I bought them. I've gotten a reality of what it is. And to me, it's, it's misinformation. Yeah, just go spend $70,000 on a nice EV vehicle and be beautiful. Go spend $90,000 on a nice EV truck and be beautiful, right? That Ford Maverick truck, that's the better deal all day long as far as a vehicle. $36,000 truck and gets 30 miles a gallon just about. You can run on regular no lead. Wow. Then the hybrid truck, which is hard to get. Now, I think that's like 44 miles a gallon. I think I'm hearing from people that get 44 to get 50. I don't know. But the EV people don't want to hear this conversation. Do you think Elon Musk? Do you think the Polestar guy? Do you think the Rivian guy? Do you think that all these guys that have invested heavily into electric vehicles want to hear anything about cheap fuel? Nope, they don't. And that's the agenda, more than ever, is make fuel very, very expensive so people want to go buy an electric car. Promise you, $2 gas, $2.50 gas, $2.70 gas, the whole adventure want to go buy an electric vehicle. I guarantee a third, if not half the people, all of a sudden, you know what, honey? Let's just take a time out of this. Let's just wait till the market gets a little bit more better and they actually build charging stations that are more convenient besides just Teslas. And let's not spend $60,000. By the time the hits the market, hopefully you get one for like $40,000, whatever. I mean, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be free. So at the end of the day, what'd you accomplish? I mean, sincerely, the person about the EV vehicle, yeah, I know. I'll hear the guy preach up all day long that bought it and parks it in his garage and recharges in his house, and he's spending $2 a day to drive back and forth to work. But he goes to he goes and buys lunch every day or goes and buys dinner coming home every night. I mean, I don't know. Who the hell knows? I don't really care. But the whole point is, yeah, you're just putting money somewhere else then. I mean, sincerely, that's just how it plays out. I mean, so is the guy really just saving all the money in bank account? Some are. Some will do that. But not everybody. They'll just spend it somewhere else. I mean, and eventually the plug-in to charge your car fee's going to come, and they pay by the miles going to come. So, yeah, yippee-yahoo. All right. That's all I'm going to have to say this morning. God bless for all those Floridians. Prayers. Pray for a miracle. But you can only hope and pray that thing doesn't have a correct impact. And that thing kind of keeps staying out in the ocean and loses its momentum. But I don't know about that. I'm not the hurricane expert. So, anyway, stay tuned for more adventures. Oh, I ordered the straight pipe for the Ram 2500 last night. And the website claims that if I make a YouTube video of me doing that install, it's free. But boy, that's going to be a project. So the straight pipe for the black Ram 2500, just ordered last night. That'll be a video I'll do. And probably won't get that till later this week, be my guess. I mean, that's going to be a project. I already know that thing's going to be a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's going to be a project. We lay down on your back and have to do this stuff. You have no idea until you do it. It's very challenging. So there's an upcoming video. And then need to do the Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114 oil change, primary change, and transmission oil change. We got to do that on my nice lift downstairs and show how the kid can show you how to change oil on your Harley. And yeah, those are Harley stuff. I'm really loving the Harley stuff. You know what I get to thinking? When I went up to the Harley store to buy the motor oil to do the oil change at 114, the motor oil is basically half the price of Indian oil. I paid $20 for a quart of oil for an Indian motorcycle. $20. Oh my God, I can remember people complaining about buying Harley Davidson motor roller for like $7, $8 a bottle. Yeah, I think now it's like 12 or 11. I can't remember. But all I know is, I mean, it's incredible. $20 or I'm not lying. When they rung that up and said it's $19.99 at the Indian store down there where I deal with those guys out in Virginia, and I was like $20. I was thinking, wow, yeah, the greed, and that's the problem. Is people's attitude more than ever from this pandemic-related challenges is suck it up, Buttercup. Well, guess what? A lot of businesses are going to have to start looking at themselves and go, suck it up, Buttercup, because the people ain't paying no more. Yeah, the times of change are here, and hopefully the times of change are for the better and not the worse. All right, everybody, have a great day. Stay tuned for more videos from Ice Age TV, and have a safe day.